With 3 bears down, the orc did frown, and bid the elf goodbye. For none could know 'twas not for show, and someone had to die. What do you want? Come to gawk at the Knight of Thorns? Well, here I am, for your viewing pleasure. Where's my dignity? Why, it's in Cyrodiil, where I left it, in the blood-stained robe of the Countess of Shadenhall. The same Countess who held me close to her side like a maiden clutches a rose. I am that most unworthy of fiends, you see. A liar, a betrayer, a turncoat. Yes, and she survived. Such is the depth of my failure. In fact, so pathetic am I that the Countess chose to exile me rather than take my head. One final insult for the Knight of Thorns, to be pitied rather than scorned. Why, certainly. That night I was drinking and whoring as I usually did, after spending the morning pretending to be chaste. Then I donned my helm, and in full armor, I stumbled over to the Countess's chambers, sending the guards on an assignment to oblivion. I pounded the door of her bedchamber, awaking the Countess. "Urgent business," I said. "Is the Count with you?" She told me the Count was in Bruma, discussing some sort of territorial dispute over the Countess's buttocks. Then I told her that I had good news and bad news. The good news was she wouldn't be in pain for long. Then I gave her the bad news. When I was finished, I did what most traitors do. I defiled the corpse and then laughed maniacally, before returning to my bedchamber for a nap. Oh, and who is to say what is true and untrue?
The Count's steward, that's who.
Unless you are him, then it does not matter what you think. Yes, that was an order founded by a previous Count, Farwell Indaris, one of the heroes of the Oblivion Crisis. At one point, however, one of his descendants, who disliked the thorny sigil, decided to alter it to suit her tastes. She was fond of roses, so the Knights of the Thorn became the Order of the Roses, fighters chosen as much for their incorruptible honor as their skill in battle. We swore an oath to more than the Count. We swore to uphold the very essence of virtue. We were the unsullied, the unspoiled. Every single member arose without a thorn. That is who you speak with. An elf who betrayed not just the Countess, not just her ancestors, but the very ideal of what a knight aspires to be. We did more than obey the laws of gods and men. To fight lust, we swore an oath of celibacy. To fight indolence, we promised to be punctual. To fight passion, we refused to drink. And to fight greed, we often shared our spoils with the townsfolk. We were more than just honorable, more than mere knights. We were immaculate. Emphasis on the word were. The Knight of Thorns does not smell like a rose. He is a poisonous vine, and his touch is venom. Yes, there were always some who doubted my integrity. They couldn't believe I was a gentle, humble knight who took pride in acting with grace. And they were right. As you can plainly see, I am a rube, a filthy, ill-tempered barbarian who cares more for liquor than breath. Some called me the White Rose, a paladin in pure white armor, said to be painted by a soul that was the very same. Ugh. I deceived all of Cyrodiil with my feats of valor. The liberation of Fort Farragut, the vanquishing of the warlocks of Quickwater Cave. All a ruse, an unctuous gambit to earn the trust of the fair countess. Then, without cause, motive, or provocation, I stabbed her in the chest. Thank the divines, the steward was there to witness the entire deed, and to provide the Countess with the health potion that saved her life. Of course, he never saw my face, but there was no mistaking my armor, and no mistaking the petals of blood that stained its chest plate. So it was obviously I who, jealous over her love of the Count, clumsily stabbed the woman I was sworn to protect. You think too highly of me. After all, what did you expect from a knight who didn't even bother to wipe the blood stain from his armor? No, he just returned to his bedchamber and placed his blood-stained sword and armor conveniently beside him as he bid the knight farewell. You sound like someone I once knew. He walked the path of righteousness, and lived only to serve with honor. For the integrity of the court, the Count, and the Countess, he played the role that has been cast. For their sake, he let the lie become truth. He believed that to live in dishonor is the only honorable path he had left. And when he died, perhaps the gods would exonerate him and let him walk once more amongst the roses. You sound like for the belief. And when for the integrity of the court, the Count believed. And when you sound like someone I once knew. He walked the path of righteousness, and lived only to serve with honor. Speak. Be gone.